Okay, here we are for the third video, and this is the last project in the kit. And this is the envelope pocket that's going to hold both the cards. So you could use this as a separate gift, or you could put both of the cards with the envelopes in here as like a stationary gift, and it's just really pretty. So I'm going to show you how to do all of this. I just think it's so pretty. I just love it. And this is what I did was I made this a belly band, and belly bands just mean something that goes around something and holds it all together. And I put the flower right on there because I'm not a big fan of undoing things and then things kind of fall apart. So I really like this being all contained as one piece. Now it can be a little challenging to get them back on, but again, just like I showed in the other card, you just kind of give your item a little bend like that, and then you can slip it on, and then we're all set. And then it's just so pretty. The ribbon kind of really helps too. And the fact that the flowers are on shimmer paper, that helps too. Anyway, so we will go through this in just a minute. And this is what the pocket looks like on the inside. Just so simple and so cute. And both the cards, imagine that I have envelopes here in front of me. Both cards and envelopes will fit in here like so. So the envelopes would go with them, and then you can close that up. And again, now this gets a little bit more challenging, and this is why I wanted to do this last, because I'm going to show you that if you put all your pieces in there, particularly if you plan to give this as a gift with cards in it, put your cards in before you create this belly band, because then you get the ribbon the right width. Otherwise, it's a little challenging to get this ribbon on, and because it's harder also to bend when you've got cards in there. So that's why we're doing this project last, because I want you to put your cards in there before we actually tie the belly band on. Okay, so that's how this goes. And like I said, it'll fit both of these in there. You could also put another thing that's a really cool gift is, you know, say your parents haven't seen your kids for a while. It's really nice to tuck some photos in there, or maybe you've been to a some kind of family event or something, maybe before this pandemic started, and you want to send some just as a reminder of a wonderful time you had with some friends or family. It just makes a really pretty gift. So that's what we are going to work on in this video. So what you have is the piece already prepared for you. So it was a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, and then I did all the scoring and cutting for you. So, and also adhered the tear tape so that you would know where to glue things down. So this has all been done for you. Please, you know, you can use this as a template before you put it together if you'd like to, so you can, you know, check your measurements and maybe even take a photo of this all laid open like this, so that you could recreate this if you'd like, because it's one sheet of 12 by 12 paper, and I'm pretty sure we all have lots of those in our stash. So we end up cutting away 2 pieces here. I corner rounded this because this is the flap, and I just think that looks really nice and finished. And then you also cut away this thin piece between the 2 score lines. You cut away that thin piece right in there. All right, and then it's just folding up all your score pieces. And this double score line, the whole purpose of that is to allow for some bulk. So if you can see in here, see how that's got some thickness to it. That's just from those having the 2 score lines. And what's happening here with my paper is it's just that some of the paper is sort of breaking away from those scores, and that doesn't bother me at all. That's one, it's on the inside, and it just doesn't bother me that it, you know, you kind of get that that look when you score and burnish it really well. So you're going to want to fold all these in, burnish them so that they're going to fold and close really well. Again, remember to watch that these scores were done well and that things are lining up along these lines, okay? And then you're going to want to score both of these. So that's a little bit trickier. I try to line up the first one, the first score line, and then I kind of have to manipulate a little bit to get it folded over to that other score line and burnish that one too, okay? So that's a little bit trickier to get those two, but just work with it and you'll be fine. Same thing down here. You've got two score lines here as well to burnish with your bone folder. If you don't have a bone folder, you could use like a credit card or a gift card or something like that that's nice and flat and can give you a nice strong crease, okay? And then all you're going to do is just remove the backing on this tear tape, like so, on both of these, and then just fold this over, get my head out of the way, make sure those line up as best you can. These are homemade gifts, I don't worry about it being perfect, but line those up as best you can, and then just fold it down, all right? And then you're done creating your envelope. And as I said, you can take measurements. I will send the measurements for this if you would like to make more. I would also take a picture of this when it's opened up before you've glued it down. Okay, take a picture so that you're reminded, especially if you want to make some more of these. I mean, one sheet of paper's about $1. So that's a great, great gift. Okay, so now let's work on the flower. Now, this was a set of dies I had, I think, they're definitely from a different company, but I just thought it was a perfect flower. And I die cut 2 of the large ones for you just because I like that extra. To me, it was just a little bit, I don't know, I thought it was a little prettier than just going with this. So it's more full and I like it. The other thing I'm going to show you is ways to manipulate your flowers. You really want to give them some dimension. So if you can see the dimension in that flower, it just makes them look more real. So a couple things you can do. I typically use my bone folder. You could also use like maybe not quite this thick, but like a pencil or something, and just kind of roll them around and see how that's just giving it that shape, right? Roll them around, and then you can manipulate the inside. These are really sturdy. This is sturdy paper, and the flower itself has some good thickness. Like there aren't really thin areas of it. So you've got some ability to manipulate this. So you can, I tend to do this, and basically what this does is it's just breaking down the fibers of the paper, and it allows it to be a little bit more pliable. So I'm gonna do this, and because you've got 2 of the large flowers, I did one this way where basically the leaves are bent down, and then I did one the other way where the leaves are bent up, and those become my 2 base layers. Okay, so see that? Just, and then for the 2 base ones, I glued them down flat. And I turn, so for the second layer, I would turn the petals so that they're in those openings, okay? So see how they all go off center from each other, okay? So you can go ahead and glue those 2 together once you've manipulated your flowers a little bit. And then you're going to do the same thing with your second layer. And I tend to my base layer turn the petals down, and then all the other ones I tend to turn them up. You can. I've also seen designers where they'll bend the leaves in half like this. So it's just, again, it's just another look. And there's you know, all sorts of things you can do to get some dimension and I guess more realism to your paper flowers. I mean, look how cute that is. And then once you do this little guy, now if this was a little more delicate die cut flower, you wouldn't be able to be quite as aggressive as I'm being with this bone folder right now. But this one, the paper and the shape has lots of strength to it. So I mean, just like look, I love this. Now imagine another flower layer down there. I mean, just look at how different that is. Now I put mounting tape, so my bottom two layers were glued together flat, but then I put a layer of mounting tape between these two. Don't do that yet though. We have to punch holes. If you've glued your bottom two layers together already, that's fine. No problem, we're going to be able to punch through it. But let's not put mounting tape yet on these layers. So what I wanted to do was add a center to this. So I've included these little guys, this little guy in your kit. And so we're just going to punch a hole through all my layers so that we can add this to the center, okay? So I did this one with a hole punch. Just went in, just kind of eyeballed the center and punched a hole. If you don't have a hole punch, that's okay. Maybe you have a tool like this, some kind of poker tool. That's my fancy term for it, a poker tool. If you don't have one of those, a push pen will work just fine. If you have a push pen and a mouse pad, you're going to be good. All right, so I would just go ahead and, you know, find my center, and then I'd want to put this through, you know, up until the thickness. So I've got room for this guy to go through. Then I'm going to layer this on top so that I have my flower where I want it, and then just going to poke through that one. Okay, that's it. And then just give it a little jiggle, just so you're getting a decent size hole, right? Because we've got to be able to put this stem through. All right, now I've got two layers. Then I'm going to layer this on top. If you've glued these two together, you'll be fine. It'll go right through. If not, you can do one at a time. So just get that flower the way you want it on top of your bottom piece and poke your hole through. Okay. And again, then just manipulate that just a little bit more, make sure it's good and thick, and do that with the other one, in case you've got a hole through all your flowers. And then you can just go ahead and start layering them on. This one, followed by this guy. Now, okay, whoops. As soon as you get this guy on, let's put some mounting tape right here. Okay, so you know I like to use up my pieces, right? I just cut them apart, use up these edge pieces. No sense having those go to waste. So we'll put a piece right here and a piece right here, okay? And then I would remove the backing on this and then put my next layer on. Sorry, I almost forgot. And before you stick them together, just make sure you've got them, the flower petals, the way you want them, and then boom, push that together, okay? Once you've got the flower petals the way you want. Then, same thing. I'm gonna add some mounting tape. Let's see. I like these edge pieces. They're great for this. what I'm trying to do here. Okay, pull my backing off. I would glue these two together first since they're going to be glued flat. So glue your two bottom pieces together and then go ahead and put this on. And just before you stick them together, just make sure you got your leaves the way you want them, and then boom. Okay, isn't that, I just love it. I love it. Oh, I love it. Okay. And then once you've got all your flower pieces together, you've got this piece at the back. And what I did was I just rolled it around. I thought about putting it through the ribbon, and then I decided against that. I mean, you could do that, but I just thought it might snag on the envelope going in and out. So I decided, and then I decided to just keep this here and then glue this whole flower onto the ribbon. All right. So I just rolled this around a couple times, cut some of the excess off, and you could just use Scotch tape and just tape that down, just to make sure that that stays there. And then there's your beautiful flower. I just love it. All right, so now we have our flower. I'm done with this little pad, done with my little pokey tool. Very technical term. Okay, so I've got my envelope glued together, right? You have it all glued together. I'm gonna put my card and envelope, sorry, I don't have them here on my desk in front of me, but put my card and envelope inside, both cards and envelopes inside, just so I can get my ribbon around that thickness, all right? It'll make it a lot easier to take it on and off. Okay, and this, love this ribbon. And it's basically, I just tied a knot. Just tie a knot, and then once you get that knot, then you can manipulate it, right? So see, look at that, turned out to be pretty. So let's see, I want to manipulate it this way. So I just kind of take my time getting my knot the way I like it. And your ribbon should be plenty long enough. You should have some excess to work with. And then once you've got it the way you want it, you want to kind of cut that a little bit tighter. So let's look at, here, let me put this one together. So again, I just bend it. It just makes it a lot easier to get it on. That little belly band, that's what it's called. And you know, you can slide it up and down if you want your ribbon a little more centered and your flower up near the top, you can slide it. And so see how I kind of cut those tails fairly short. They look a little uneven. They're pretty close, but I could cut this a little more just to get them a little more even. But I do keep them fairly short, just because that's the look that I like. I also like to keep it a little bit lower on the envelope. So yeah, so just manipulate that until you get that knot the way you like it. Then you can trim those down a little shorter. And then we're going to take your ribbon that's got this tape down at the back, and we're going to add some good strong adhesive. So I would suggest if you have and you want a dry adhesive, if you have Terran tape, or if you have any of the red line tape, and if you don't have those, glue dots will work just fine. So any of these three would be great options, and I would be a little bit liberal with them. So I would put, you know, it's only going to be on here, so you could actually put it right on the ribbon. So you could put your adhesive right down here on the ribbon, a few pieces, say you're doing glue dots, maybe about 5 glue dots, and then just put that right into that adhesive. Just the way you like it. And there, you're all done. And it just makes a great gift. And I think the envelopes are a lot of fun. And I think the envelopes, you know, to me, are a great way to send photos to people. I just love it. You know, compared to the packages you get from Costco. I mean, what a beautiful thing to do. And, you know, you could make this more masculine. You could just use some burlap. Just, you know, use a little bit more masculine paper and some burlap and just tie it. And you don't even have to have anything else on it. I mean, just tied like this. What a beautiful gift. You could also use some Velcro. So if you have like some of this Velcro that just goes on, it's sticky back Velcro, you could do that. You could also get these things, just happen to be in front of me. I did not plan to talk about this. They just happen to be right here in front of me where I've been creating lately. Just having lots of fun. But here's some adhesive back magnetic strips. So you could cut a little square of magnet and put it on there. So many things that you can do with these little envelopes. And like I said, I think it's a great way to give photos to somebody, any kind of gift cards. You know, what about a nice gift for someone at work where maybe there's a card that everybody signed, and then maybe there's a gift card that you can slip in one of the other pockets. I just think they're great, and it's one sheet of 12 by 12 paper. So I hope you had fun crafting that, and I will get the dimensions and scoring lines for you. But again, I really recommend, and you know, could just take, if you already glued your envelope together before watching this, you could just take a screenshot of what I've got right here. So I'm going to clear this space just before I sign off, and give you an opportunity, if you want to just take a screenshot of this, just so you can see that we cut away these two panels, these two pieces up here from after we did all the scoring. I corner rounded this, which, you know, you can, if you like. You could even just cut it on an angle if you don't have a corner rounder. I happen to have this tool from Zutter that does corner rounding, so you just slip it right in here like this and squeeze down, and it rounds the corner. And then these two little pieces right here, so these two pieces right here you want to cut away, and they're already scored. It's already on your score line, so it's very easy to I just use my scissors and cut that away. So go ahead and take a screenshot of that for your sample, and I will get you the score line instructions, and you'll be able to make all sorts of these. So I hope you had fun. Thanks for getting a kit, and I'll be talking to you soon. Bye.